What's up, Knotfest? This is Daniel Dekay hanging out in the city of sin. We're at Psycho Las Vegas 2022, and I'm drinking and watching bands with my buddy Blake Ibanez right here, the dude behind Fugitive. Maybe you know him from Power Trip, and right now drinking some beers up in my room with me. What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hell yeah. Welcome
Always
to Vegas.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. Happy to be here. It's just as hot as back home, but it's okay.
It's a different heat than
it's a dry
Texas
heat,
though.
you know.
Yeah,
That's what they say. It's a dry heat.
It rained here the other
Yeah.
day. It was like, apparently it's very, very uncommon. It just like fucking poured with lightning for like an hour, and then it was back to Vegas.
Yeah. That's actually probably pretty nice because it's so dry here, you know. So it's like just to get a little moisture in the air.
Yeah, all the locals are fucking stoked.
Yeah.
The crops are doing well now.
Yeah.
So tell me, you're here to play what is a pretty fucking hype show for anyone who knows about good tunes right now, because it's Fugitive's second show ever, a late addition to the festival, a nice surprise. For those who aren't familiar, tell everyone what I'm losing my shit about. What is Fugitive? Tell me about Maniac, and tell me about who's in the band.
So Fugitive is a band that I started with some buddies from the area that I live in, mainly because I was really bored. But I really wanted to stay creative while I was kind of working on a lot of other stuff. So I just recruited guys from my area. So I got the singer, Seth Gilmore, who's a good friend of mine, lives about 10 minutes away from me. He's in this band called Scourge, which is like a hardcore band that kind of takes influence from New York hardcore stuff. So he's already, I kind of thought he would be a good fit for what I was writing. And then Andy Messer plays bass, who's a kind of scene veteran. He's been around a long time, played in a lot of bands, ANS, Dracula's, bunch of stuff. I got Victor Gutierrez on second guitar, who's he's in Vasca and Impalers and other bands, and he's awesome. He's actually from Austin, but that's the only person that I got from outside of DFW. And then I got Lincoln from Creeping Death on drums. He's a little bit younger than me, just kind of a lot of good energy and available, and so I just wanted to jam with other guys and try out some new stuff I've been writing, and it kind of came together quickly. It's been really fun. And
I mean, it's keeping that DFW Texas spirit alive with like, hey, let's play in bands with our friends who play in all the other bands, and it's like, a group of people this big that make up 40 bands in a scene, right? Keeping true to it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good players around, and I've always played with the same guys, which has been awesome. But the whole idea of starting another band, it was cool because it was like I got to handpick the guys I get to play with, and it was all guys that I was just like, I liked what they did, and thought they'd be fun to be in a band with. And so far, that's been the case. Everybody's really cool, and everybody's friends. It's been fun.
That's dope. And you guys just played your first show at Wrecking Ball, and I saw videos. That shit went off, man. Everyone's super stoked about it. Namely because you surprised us with an EP. You're like, I'm your homie, man. You didn't even tell me. It was just like it hit midnight, and all of a sudden, social media is like firing up. Like, holy shit, have you heard Maniac yet? Have you heard Maniac yet? Tell me about the EP, man.
Yeah, I think there had been some things that had come out about that we had started this band and that we were trying to do it in July, and everything takes longer than you think it's going to take these days. So kind of pushed it all the way to the final deadline we had, but I think it turned out really great. It was kind of like I was writing some more stuff without saying too much. I was actually going to potentially fill in for this one band that I can't really mention, but they were tuned to D standard, which is a step down from what I'm usually playing in. So I think my guitar was just tuned in D standards. It was just sitting around. So anytime I'd pick it up, I would just start playing in that tuning. And I don't know, I just started writing some stuff, and it kind of got me re-energized and excited about just music in general. And it kind of let me explore some different influences that I hadn't really dove into with Power Trip. Maybe stuff that was a little, I don't know what you would call it, like a little sleazier, a little more loose, like I had a little more wiggle room to try out some stuff, get a little groovier. I love the rock and roll stuff. So I wanted I wanted something that had a little more room to breathe and to introduce some other stuff. So yeah, it was just like, it was actually came together really easily. I think just over the last several years, I've gotten a little better at putting things together and more confident in what I'm doing. So came together pretty fast. And then just, I put together the songs and started jamming out with Lincoln, and me and Seth kind of went to my house and did all the vocals, and it just kind of worked out. Recorded it mostly in DFW, and I was able to go to the studio like, every week because it was really close to my house, and it was a very collaborative thing. I was able to kind of be involved in every aspect of it. So it was really fun. It was good.
I like that you bring up like all these points about the guitar and a little sleazier, and I know you're a rock guy. Like I know it at your core, just because you have like this sexy ass tight right hand doesn't mean I know you don't love Thin Lizzy, right? So
I hate him.
Yeah, like I kind of appreciate what I'm hearing in the riffing on the EP. There's like specifically the open, like this open E string idea, like not everything has to be palm to shit, and like like there's like a couple cool riffs that like sound sleazy and 80s as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that was what it was fun to do, was like kind of open it up a little bit more, because Power Trip, a lot of it's really tight and attacking, which this has that too, but I wanted to be able to slide around a little bit. Like I think the title track, I'm kind of I'm kind of going down tight with my palm, but I'm also opening it up, which is, it's kind of hard because that's the hard part, is like playing tight and loose at the same time. It's like it's a challenge, but it was fun to have a little more room to do that. When the strings are a little looser, and when you have the tempos aren't quite as fast, you just have more room to rock out.
Man, I'm super stoked for your set. It's your second show ever. And I know that, you haven't talked a lot about this band. So as much as this is a service for anyone watching, I'm like genuinely stoked on this, because we haven't even really chatted about, what the full scope of the band is and everything. So I'm stoked to hear about this. But do you have a bunch of songs ready? You going for a full length right away? Or it's like, dude, it's like 16 minutes of music. I need a little, I need a little more.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely want to do another EP at least in the next 6 months, just because it was really fun to do. Keeps me busy. I have other stuff I've been working on for quite a while that I can't really talk too much about, but there's a lot of other stuff that I've written. So it's kind of like, this is just sort of something to keep me busy, but it turned out really good, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to keep playing, and I definitely want to make more music with these guys. So we'll probably do something else soon. I don't know if it'll be an LP or probably not, just because we haven't been around that long. Mm-hmm. I'd rather wait a little while to do an LP, just because so much work goes into doing that. But probably like another EP, and then maybe after that an LP. Just depending on where everything goes, we'll see.
Fugitive long game, got it. Fugitive
long game. Yeah, patience. Yeah.
All right, let's shift up to E standard tuning for a minute here. You have to. I need something. What's going on? You've been working on a Power Trip record for a long time. Lots of shit has changed. Lots of things have remained the same. What can you tell me? I need something, Blake.
I can't really say anything. Me and Chris have been working on stuff for quite a while, and we are continuing to work on it.
But we all know that. We've all seen pictures of you at Arthur's house. We know what's going on. Like, I need something, Blake.
Well, we're just working on stuff, and at some point, the stuff we're working on will be heard.
Okay,
that's all I can really say. But I really like it.
Whole record's done?
There's what, I guess you could call it a record, but
cool.
There's a bunch of stuff out there. That's really all I can say. I don't know. I can't really say too much, but
he's only had one beer. You just
you gotta get me more drunk.
Without some cameras,
you gotta get me more drunk before you ask me about that.
I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Been working really hard on it. I feel me and him, we have great chemistry, and same thing we've always done when we make records, together. The same vibe is there. I'm really proud of all the stuff we've ever written together. So, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when everything's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. So,
you know what? It really, I think that a lot of people, friends, when they saw Fugitive EP coming, like kind of were like, oh, like it's just going to be like a Power Trip record 0.2, and like it's not at all. And that's why I'm really excited to hear what like you and Ulsh are cooking, because it's it's a different vibe. It's rock and roll in its own way.
Yeah.
I found like the drumming, like Chris is rock and roll, like with the single kick thing, like he's got it down, but you play way more precise in that band. It's cool to hear like a little bit of the groovier, loose rock and roll riff. I like that we're getting both from you now.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's something that's missing. Like, there's not a lot of bands in the more, I guess you would say, extreme metal scene. I feel like where there's emphasis on loosening up a little bit. I mean, because there's like a boundary to that. You don't want to loosen up too much and be sloppy, but all the stuff we like. A lot of the classic records, there is this personality in the way they're playing to the drummer and the way the band's playing together. And I love the idea of being able to make something really heavy where there's a little bit of a loose end to it. And, just trying to do something that we like playing, that I like writing, and that maybe no one else is really doing. So it kind of feels like it's something different for what everybody else is doing right now, and it's the same thing that I'm kind of used to doing, but as you can tell, I brought some other shit into it. So
fuck
yeah.
Well, you know what? A reason why you fulfill all these musical needs, and I know this, is because you're a huge fucking music nerd. You've got really impressive record collection, and you know tons about bands. You're like a little archivist somehow. At an age younger than even me, you know twice as many bands as I do. But the thing that's really cool about your collection is that you like fully embrace cassettes. Tell me, are cassettes your favorite format, and why do you love cassettes so much?
I don't know my favorite format. I just
you sure have a lot of them, bro.
I do have a lot of cassettes. I think they're super cheap, so you can kind of find them anywhere. They're just a cool collectible. I don't know, especially when it comes to metal. Like, I have a ton of metal cassettes because I love the way they sound, and then I just like they look so cool. It's like a collector thing. But I don't know if they're my favorite. I think you can't really beat records, but I do love cassettes. I'm just a collector. I just like collecting anything.
Yeah, you're a collector and you're a super fan. Like, you fucking love bands. Like, that's what I like about you. You're like a guy who, like, all the shitty records that people write off, you're like, oh no, that's some of their best work.
Yeah, I like the shitty shit. No, well, there's a lot of stuff I don't like too. But I mean, I'm very passionate about music. It's everything to me. So I'm always looking to find influence in things that don't sound anything like what I'm doing, or try and do like kind of like what I talk about with other guys that write music. It's like, it's all about connecting the dots between different things, or things that are similar, but yet kind of, but yet very different. So you can draw a straight line from, Discharge to Slayer, or anything like that. You could maybe even do, obviously Diamond Head, Metallica, not super different bands, but like you can figure out how they got to that point. And I love doing that. I like kind of being able to pick out the influences and kind of see how things end up. So I love nerding out about that shit.
It's because you're a fan, and I mean, as a fan, some pretty cool shit has happened to you in the last couple of years. I know you love Sacred Reich, and I know you love Obituary, and these are two bands that have like totally like Big Bro brought you into the circle. You jammed on the Obituary live stream. You jammed live on stage with Sacred Reich. How's it kind of feel like, as that much of a collector and a fanboy, and you love music? These are people you've listened to your whole lives, and now like they're totally broing down with you. They want you to play on stage with them. Like, what kind of validation, what kind of feelings does that kind of give you, man? I know it means a lot to you because you're like me. You like shit.
I do love shit. No, honestly, it's really cool. It's just like, I guess it's just, it feels good, but it's like a lot of years of hard work, and a lot of, we've made a lot of friends and been a lot of places. And yeah, it's an honor that, people that you looked up to and that, or your musical contemporaries respect you or want anything to do with you. It's a privilege. So yeah, it's been great. If any of those bands want me to jam with them ever, I'm always down. So yeah, it was awesome. I'm a huge fan of both bands, and they're really good dudes. It's also good when bands that you love end up being really cool people, and if they're into your music or anything you do, support what you do, that's just like, it's fucking awesome. So yeah, it's a privilege. It's definitely an honor.
Hell yeah, well said. All right, well, let's wrap on this. We're in Vegas. What is Blake's hot tip? What band does everyone need to go see this weekend, aside from the massive Fugitive set on Sunday that you're not allowed to plug right now? What does everyone got to go see, dude?
Well, other than obviously Merciful Fate on tomorrow night, I'm gonna go watch Warthog later because I love that band. I think they're a great band. I saw them a few months ago with Impalers, Victor and Ulsh's band, and they're just awesome. They just put out a new EP several months ago. That's just great. They're kind of like Power Trip in the sense that they have members from all different kind of corners of the scene, and they're into lots of different kinds of music. They cross over nicely with metal and crust, D-beat, all that stuff, and it's just like it's I think that's probably why we connect well as people too, is because we're kind of on that same wavelength. We like to be into all sorts of stuff and try to make awesome music. So definitely gonna go see them.
Fuck yeah, let's check out Warthog. Dude, thanks for hanging. Let's crush some beers. This is Daniel Dekay for Knotfest at Psycho Vegas, hanging out with Blake Ibanez, goddamn Fugitive and Power Trip. Go watch Warthog. Listen to Fugitive.